Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Uncharted and Unfiltered, a Journey Back to You podcast. I am Cynthia Jamieson, and I'm so glad that you are here today. It is Friday, December the 6th, and I'm recording this. It is snowing and has been snowing all week. I don't know what's happening weather-wise where you are. That's what's happening here. We are in the midst of our move. We had Packers yesterday, and there's just a lot of chaos going on. And that's okay because here I am talking to you, and it gives me so much joy to be able to do that. I wanted to be able to share something with you today because last week, actually, was it last week or the week before? Because this is my second week. So, a couple of weeks ago, my coach gave me an assignment that seemed really simple at first, but felt surprisingly difficult. The assignment was this: step away from social media. No liking, no commenting, no jumping in to lead conversations. Yes, you can still post, you can still do your podcast, you can do all of those things, but none of these other actions. Like none of the engaging. I can put it out into the world, but not respond to it. So if you happen to know me personally, and even from this podcast, I mean, that's just not how I typically show up. I have always been someone who loves to give, to support, to show up fully. And I've even been known to overgive, a tendency my coach gently, or maybe not so gently, brought to my attention, which is, of course, the purpose for the exercise. So I did as they asked me to do. And so for 2 weeks, I leaned into the discomfort of doing something unfamiliar. And that experience that I had was so powerful because it wasn't just about social media. It became a lesson in permission, boundaries, and valuing my own time and my own energy, which is our most precious resources. So today, I want to take the opportunity to share what I learned in the last 2 weeks in the hope that it sparks some insight or some inspiration for you to explore how this kind of exercise could expand your own awareness and your own alignment. Because, of course, once we are aware of something, then we can make a different choice. We get to decide what we want to do about that. Okay, so we're just going to dive right in. So, as I mentioned, for years, I prided myself on being a person who showed up for everyone all the time. And it felt good to give. But what I didn't realize was how much I was giving at the expense of myself. Now, this tendency to overgive came from somewhere. Of course it did, right? And whatever, if you're like hearing this going, yes, me too, of course it came from somewhere. My upbringing. Now, growing up, I watched my parents do the same. They gave without pause. It was so natural to them. So, of course, it was natural for me as a young adult. I took care of everyone around me, my family, my friends, my colleagues, while neglecting my own needs. Now, looking back, I realized that overgiving carried an unconscious message, if you will. And here's the unconscious message that it carried for me: my value is tied to what I can do for others. And that's a dangerous narrative because over time, it's not sustainable. And I know this just because I know my story and I've shared some of this with you, but my body began to give me really clear signals. That's where the stress, the tension, the burnout comes from. So even as you're listening, you may sense or find areas or places that this really resonates with you. And this process that I walked through myself, I'll be giving you invitations as we go along to be able to make shifts and changes that you feel like you want to make that are in better service of who you are, your time, your energy, your most precious, valuable resource. So when my coach challenged me to step back, it felt foreign, even uncomfortable. But in doing so, I found something completely unexpected. And maybe it shouldn't have been unexpected, but it was. I found time to reflect, to breathe, to just be. My mind became clearer and my energy returned. So by stepping back, I was respecting. That's the word that I feel is true for me. By stepping back, I was respecting my own boundaries. And I learned that boundaries aren't just about saying no to others, they are about saying yes to myself. And I knew that cognitively, but this is a different level of knowing. This is a lesson that I often talk about with my clients. It's like the airplane oxygen mask analogy to help yourself first so that you can help others. Yet, how often do we truly listen to that wisdom? Here's something else that I discovered. Stepping back gave others the opportunity to step up. I'm going to repeat that because I know a lot of you that are listening are leaders, you're in leadership positions, self-leadership, etc. Stepping back gave others the opportunity to step up. So I did not need to lead every conversation or to keep everything on track. And when I allowed space, others naturally filled it. I realized how much I had unconsciously been carrying my own expectation to lead, to manage, to keep things running smoothly. And in letting go, it not only lightened my load, but it allowed others to grow. And it was a reminder to me that true leadership isn't always about being out front. And I know that, but again, it's another level of awareness that dropped in for me. Sometimes it's about creating space for others to step into their own leadership. And that is a principle that I also see in my coaching work. When I overgive, whether it be extra minutes, extra resources, I am not modeling balance to my clients. But when I honor my time, when I honor my energy, when I show up, then when I do those things, I can show up as a better version of myself. And guess what? Everybody benefits, everybody wins. And so too would be the truth for you. So throughout this process, I was reminded of something important. My worth isn't tied to my contribution. My worth is inherent. It's my birthright. I'm worthy, you're worthy just because we are who we are. So taking this step back wasn't just about creating space, it was about reclaiming my energy and aligning my actions with my own values. So I asked myself some hard questions. Was I engaging out of genuine interest or obligation? Was I responding because I felt I should or because I truly wanted to respond? And these reflections were so eye-opening. When I paused, I felt calmer. I felt more centered. I felt less scattered. And so here's an invitation for you. Just take a moment to reflect on where you might be overgiving. Are you saying yes out of an obligation? And what would it feel like to pause and to only engage when it aligns with your energy and your values? Because leadership isn't just what we do for others, it's about how we show up for ourselves. By stepping back, I created room for others to lead, and the results were incredible. Groups became more balanced and dynamic just in 2 weeks. So ask yourself, where can you step back and create space for others to lead? Maybe it's in a meeting, maybe it's a family dynamic or a community group. But remember, by empowering others, you elevate the whole. We're giving to everyone when we do that. And so, in the quiet that came with me stepping back, I found space to think about the future. With a big move and a new adventure on the horizon, literally, like I leave tomorrow morning for this 2-day trek, I've been reflecting on what seeds I want to plant for 2025. So, what about you? What habits, goals, or relationships do you want to nurture? Write them down and commit to one small step today. There's never been a better day to begin. This is where intentional leadership begins, planting seeds for tomorrow's harvest. So if you are feeling stretched too thin, I invite you to give yourself permission to pause. Reflect on what you truly want to say yes to and create space for your dreams and energy to flourish. If this resonates and you're ready to explore how to create this space for yourself in your life, let's connect. Together, we can build the boundaries and habits that will support your growth and your leadership. So, this week, just in conclusion, this week has a powerful reminder. It's been a powerful reminder for me. You can't give from an empty cup. And true leadership starts with leading yourself with balance, with self respect, and with intention. So as you go about your week, reflect on your relationship with boundaries and overgiving. What would it look like to step back just a little? What would it feel like to prioritize yourself more intentionally? So that is it for today. And until next time, take care. And remember, the power of permission starts with you. And I will be tuning in from an entirely different place the next time you hear from me. So take care of yourself. I will see you soon. Bye bye. I hope that you're walking away feeling more aligned with your true self, more confident in the choices ahead, and ready to leave the safe path behind, knowing you've got everything you need within. Remember, the journey to you isn't about finding one perfect direction. It's about trusting yourself enough to explore all of it. If you're ready to dive deeper, join me for the next episode and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss the next step on your path. I invite you to join my mailing list at www.cynthiajamisoncoach.ca, where we'll deepen our relationship and you can claim your copy of Your Inner Compass, a guide to charting your course to authenticity. Until next time, stay unfiltered, stay true, and most importantly, stay you.